Hello everyone, and thank you for coming to my presentation. This is Tony speaking, and I'll be the presenter of this topic called Virtual Reality. First, we'll go over what virtual reality is, and along with its popularity and usage throughout the history, from the very beginning to where it is now. Then, we'll talk about how it's being implemented in vastly different situations nowadays. I hope you find this video informative and interesting. So, let's jump into it. The early 90s were an exciting time for computing. Revolutionary technologies like multimedia and the internet were just beginning to take form, and with them came a barrage of media hype. But amid all the hoopla, a few technologies are tremendously overhyped as virtual reality. Virtual reality becoming popular from the beginning of the year 1991, and at the year 1995, it reaches the peak of inflated expectations in a hype circle. Pioneers in the 60s by inventors like Ivan Sutherland and Robert Spohr, it offered unprecedented interactivity with computer-generated worlds. By the late 1980s, VR began to penetrate mainstream consciousness, thanks to the professionals like Jordan Linear and Accenture Technologies who helped standardize the 3D headset and data glove system for which will become known. According to the hype, virtual reality which completely transformed everyday life. VR first entered the arcade in 1991 with the Decathlon Nightmare by the Virtuality Group, which let up to 4 players shoot it out in the checkerboard arena, complete with a predatory pterodactyl. VR flying and driving games soon followed, at a cost of $5 to $10 for just a few minutes of action. They were the most expensive machine at the arcade. Though the graphics were crude and the controls were awkward, players lined up to experience the revolutionary technologies firsthand. At the consumer level, a handful of more advanced PC-based virtual reality headsets are released. VictorMax, CyberMax, and Virtual IOI glasses both offer color stereotypic 3D and real-time head tracking, making them some of the most capable VR devices available in the sub-$1,000 price range. But passing them both was the VFX1, the most fully featured VR helmet available on the consumer market. But the graphics were limited to 8 bits per pixel, which were typical for games from the early 90s. With a 45-degree field of view, the VFX1 wasn't able to fully saturate users' visual field, but it was superior on its competitors on the home market. Today, more than a decade after the virtual reality craze, consumer electronics companies are still trying to bring immersive 3D into the world. Since the 1995 hype cycle, VR was placed on the threshold of the path of enlightenment. But now, by the 2018, VR had simply disappeared from the hype circle. Fortunately, it have not disappeared and even have plenty of ideas, which are very productive and successful. In healthcare, doctors, nurses, and students develop and train their abilities with VR, such as the Next Galaxy, which uses a leap motion force feedback technology to tell the surgeons when they are incorrectly performing a surgical procedure, or the Human Sims that allows medical staff to engage in training scenarios within the 3D environment. Now, with virtual reality technology, medical profession can even perform robotic surgery, which can reduce both time and risks involved the procedures. In the military, we can use virtual reality for training purposes, such as flight and combat simulation, and even virtual boot camps. As we learned from our timeline a few minutes ago, VR is also used to treat PTSD. They do this by gradually exposing soldiers that suffer this disorder to their triggers and a safe and secure artificial environments. With the help of virtual reality, architectural firms are able to design buildings in a 3D space to not only help with the planning of each project, but you also show their clients a better view of their vision. One of the biggest challenges faced by the architect is convincing their client that their design will be executed in the way they want. 2D drawings of a building can destroy and misrepresent design that an architect has produced. So instead, they can walk clients through their projects and let them explore visual representations of a particular room, floor, or even the entire building as seen in the video. Of course, when you think of virtual reality, you think of all the fun you can have with it, and the companies know this too. They have developed programs for a variety of entertainment industry, from the video games and theme park rides, museums or gallery tours, and even in the theater. VR allows people to engage with exhibition in museums or galleries. They wear virtual reality glasses with lenses that allows them to see objects in the 3D. As we have seen, virtual reality is an innovative technology that moving our society forward with more productivity and entertainment than ever before. Keep a close eye on this technology because we should expect to see a lot more to come in the future.